need to hate your own art. This is what nobody tells you. You need to hate it. You need to hate it in two fundamental ways. And I'm going to explain them to you. But before we get started, check out the description. There's my poetry book, my fiction book. I have a podcast episode out twice a week, once on YouTube on Mondays and on Fridays on Spotify. That's linked below. Also follow me on TikTok, 'cause that's where I'll be reviewing all of your homework if you make it public and tag me on TikTok. Okay, let's get into it. Let's talk about that fact that you need to hate your own art. You need to hate it. So, point number 1. You need to hate your own art because you need to review it so many times that you're so sick of it. You need to do it so many times that you're so sick of it. The threshold of doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it makes it mundane, but it also makes it really, really good. And you will love it again. It's not a permanent state of not loving the thing you used to love, but you do need to let it go for a sec, the love of it, and just get in the numbers. Get in the numbers. Don't just feel it out. It's interesting because you need to feel out the art, but you don't need to feel out when you feel like doing the feeling. You need to feel your emotions, but you can't pick which ones you feel. It's like when people say, feel your feelings, but not anger. Feel your feelings, but not... That's not how it works. So that is the first point I am making. You need to do it so many times. You need to sing the same song. You need to paint the same thing. You need to do the same thing all the time. Again and again and again. You need to edit the same book 50,000 times to really max out your potential. It is painful to max out your potential. Go to the gym, lift the heaviest weight you can lift. That is painful. It is painful in the moment when you're lifting because your body is already like, oh, that's uncomfortable, especially if you're new to the gym. It is uncomfortable when your muscles are sore. If you've never had a protein shake before, even that feels kind of icky. So, embrace uncomfort. Embrace boredom. Embrace being like, again, yes, again. 1, 2, 3, and get back to it. That is the non-fun, sexy part of art. It is the actual doing of the thing, even if you don't feel like it. But you have to feel your feelings. How can I feel my feelings if I don't feel like it? Because nobody feels like being sad. People feel sad, but nobody feels like feeling sad. Repeat that sentence. Nobody feels like feeling sad. People feel sad, but they don't feel like feeling sad. I should be sponsored by this. Energy drinks I don't recommend, but they do make me productive. And if you want to sponsor me, I don't know if you need a sponsor, people, but if you do, let me know. Energy. You need to get in the reps. Get in the reps. Okay, and you're like, okay, what's part 2? What is the second one? You need to hate your art in retrospect. Not to a too harsh degree, but when you hear famous musicians talk about their first album, very rarely are they like, well, that was the best I ever did. And you're like, why do I need to hate my art? You don't need to hate your art in retrospect as much as you need to get better and better each time. And you're like, how do I get better? By hating yourself. No, I'm joking. But by hating something. And you're like, huh? How is this like productive, constructive? Let me tell you. With every project, you're going to have one thing, if not more, but at least one thing you're like, I could have done that better. I could have put more effort in this. I could have put my high notes, have longer riffs, have better descriptions of the scenery in the book. I could have whatever. Painted, better stroke, like, I don't know all the terminology, but there's at least one thing. You don't want to overdo this. You don't want to have 10,000 things because you cannot actually convert 10,000 things into actions. But let's give you an example. I write dialogues really well, but I didn't write the visuals of the surroundings well, and I would like to get better at that. Okay, let me get better at that. Let me get so good at that in 3 books from now, I'll look back at how I described sceneries and be like, oh yeah, the grass is green. Thanks for telling me, like these kind of things. And it's not about actually hating your art, but it is about growth. Do you like growth? Yes, because you can grow. Feelings and art are my parallel metaphors. You can grow in the way you feel your feelings. You can get better at feeling your feelings. You can get better coping mechanisms. You can deal with it better. You can be more constructive with a feeling. You can get over it better. You can get back to baseline better. And you can get better at making art. You can. I honestly think, outside of all of my fabulous talents, joking, the thing I am really, really, really good at is taking constructive criticism. Now, constructive criticism versus you suck is not the same. And oh, this is bad is not the same. But my ability to take on, oh, you didn't hit that note, oh, that was not good described, oh, whatever, is not unmatched, but I would say so. But then again, I'm also not like, how do other people take constructive criticism? Let me look. So it is not maybe the easiest thing to measure, but I'm pretty good at it. And I grow pretty quickly because I can take constructive criticism pretty well. All the time? Of course not. If I am tired, fuck off. I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to hear anything I can do better because I want to be asleep. I actually don't even want to be awake. So leave the constructive criticism in a note under the door and let me sleep kind of vibe. But if I am awake or have had a couple of coffees and an energy drink, my ability to take constructive criticism is pretty good because I don't take myself too serious. I take art serious. I don't take myself too serious most of the times, okay? Sometimes I do, and you're like looking up, okay, when did she take herself too serious? Court Exhibit A, she took herself serious. I'm not saying I've never taken myself serious, but for the most part, I try not to. Also, I'm 22. I've got much more life before I'm like, you know what? I'm serious. I'm also just not a serious person, unless I am. Side tangent. But because I can laugh it off, because I can make a joke. If you cannot make a joke, self-improvement, bettering yourself, doing art, living life is going to be so difficult. And you're like, how do I not take myself serious then? And how do I take art serious? You take art serious because you like the thing. You love the thing. And you don't take yourself serious. I'll give you a small exercise. Every time you fall down this coming up week, laugh. Because there's certain people who fall down and laugh. And there's certain people who fall down and then look, did anybody see me fall down? And it's like, no, please stop. So just laugh. And if you trip over a word, laugh. And if you're really nervous, laugh. Almost fake laugh. Please don't be like, ha ha ha. And everyone's like, why is she here? What's happening with her or with him? But try to take it more lighthearted. You are not that serious, art is. And in the pursuit of great art, you need to be able to take everything else lightly and not be too attached to your ego. Look, ego has its use, and I would be ridiculous to say I don't have an ego. But the ability to turn it off sometimes and be like, okay, let that go, is super important with art because you're trying to make a good piece of art, an honest piece of art. You're not trying to polish your mirror. Okay, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like and check out all the things in the description as I said earlier. And your homework today is to say one thing you want to get better at and the next project that you already know now. On TikTok, tag me or not, keep it to yourself and have a good homework. Clap, clap. Clap, clap, clap. Clap, 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 clap. Big round of applause for you. You've done so well. You're more than halfway through this course. I I hope you started with video 1. If not, start with video 1 and work your way through do all of the homeworks. But you should be so proud of yourself, because some people have dreams and some people actually go for them, and you're really going for them. You've done the outline, you've written a song, you've done getting the paint colors, you've done it, you've started it. That is the goal. That is a huge realization I had when I was writing my books, this is it. The buildings might change, the amount of money I get paid might change, but this is it. Me writing my books is it. That's what I want. Whatever comes around it, wonderful. But the thing I love is right there. The typing is right there. The laughing at my own jokes, which is ridiculous, but it's my book, okay? If I'm not gonna laugh, nobody is. It's there. And the rest might change, and it will probably be a wonderful change, which is great. But this is it. That is the thing you want. Painting the thing is the thing you want. Making that album is the thing you want. Making that sculpture is the thing you want. The praise, the money, the whatever is great, and you will love it, I am sure. But this is the thing you want. So don't forget that, because you've gotten the thing you want, and you should not be one of those people who takes it for granted. Thank you for watching.